Reservations are required at CD.
रहकर यही देखभाल और सेवा का लाभ उठा सकते हैं। अब चाहे वो घर पर रहे या ऑनलॉक वाले पेस सेंटर में आए, उनको वही डेडिकेटेड एंड प्रोफेशनल केयर मिलेगी। ऑनलॉक ने बुजुर्गों की सेहत को अपना प्रायोरिटी बना लिया है। और जानने के लिए 1855-308-0195 पे कॉल करें। That's 1855-308-0195।
Top of the morning, Bay, with Good Morning Bay.
Get to know about the traffic on your way and what's news around the world today.
Some wisdom skills along the way.
Oh, and a song to hum along with and sway.
Get your perfect entertaining start to the day.
At 9 a.m. every weekday morning with
Mahima's Good Morning
Bay.
Good morning, Bay. आप सभी हम तरफ से प्यार भरा नमस्ते,
नमस्कार,
वनक्कम,
नमस्कारा,
खुशामदीद,
अस्सलाम वालेकुम,
सत श्री अकाल,
एक अंदरिकी वंदनमु,
जय स्वामी नारायण,
जय श्री कृष्णा,
जय जनेंद्र।
हमारे इस्माइली भाई बहनों को बोल दे या अली मदद,
मौला अली मदद बोलते सारे फीजे मतलब बोलेंगे नीसा बुला बनजान। हम आ गए हैं आपके प्यारे महिमा के द्वारे। मैं से फालतू बाबा
and of course myself फालतू रानी लेकर आपके लिए एक और drive time that's gonna make another wonderful magnificent week totally मस्तानी बंदजानी।
To the Banjan, it's like almost the 20th of September. Matlab, oh my god, 1/3 of the year is gone, Faltoni. What's coming up next is going to be Halloween. उससे पहले of course बंदजान गांधी जयंती आएगी। And गांधी जयंती के दिन पे ही हमारी डांडिया होगी बंदजान। The drive way डांडिया, अगर आपने देखा नहीं तो बंदजान definitely go check it out. Faltoni is going to give instructions on how to do डांडिया. Faltoni, go ahead please.
That's right बंदजानी। Gotta come and do Ramo and do the Sanedo. Sorry, evening Sanedo. You gotta do that.
I think whatever Sanedo when it does different Banjan, लेकिन traditional डांडिया होगी with a little bit of dhingchak in it Banjan. That's what we're going to be doing, and as you know we are really popular for that particular dhingchak dandiya, where we have actually challenged traditional views of dandiya. Right?
Exactly.
And people have loved it, Banjan. If you want to try it out sometime, go check it out. If you want to register, please do not wait to register. Many people actually wait to register. I would advise you not to do so.
Please do not wait to register, Banjan. Please go book it. We have very limited capacity, and tickets are going, right?
Oh my God, Fatani, you're so right about that, Banjan. Tickets are going, flying away. What I'm trying to say, Banjan, no, we have limited such as capacity always. We try to make it rich. That's why we want to make it limited, Banjan. So limited seating, seating limited dandiya sticks hai.
That's right.
Well, okay, we've got to be happy with the driveway. Don't worry about the COVID situation. Father, you want to say something? Go ahead.
Yes, I was also going to say, Altu Baba, that people have been calling me and asking,
what?
Is there going to be Garba and Dandiya? Is there going to be Garba and Dandiya?
Of course, dandiya okay, Balajan, I'll tell you what. We have a whole set of events planned up for the particular day. You will love it.
Yes.
Traditionally, starting from setting up the goddess to the point of puja, aarti, varti, sab, garba. Garba starts off with garba, right? And we're going to be doing it traditionally, because we believe in cultural competency and we want to make sure we're competent. We have actually our bandhus who are actually hailed from the culture of Gujarat.
Correct.
Who are going to put this event together to us. And of course, Banjan, it's going to be a total paisa vasool kind of a thing. You know why? Fatoni?
Why?
It is just $10, Fatoni.
That is right, Banjan.
And again, everything going out to a good cause of Pragya. If you want to know more about that, definitely make sure you join us. And of course, I want to give a big shout out to the people who are taking the lead for Pragya. I really want to give a shout out to the Pandya family who actually have been doing this with us for past 3 years now, right, Fatoni?
Right.
Every year we have a bigger and a better
kind of fourth Dandiya.
It's our fourth Dandiya, Banjan. We did it in 2018. 2019,
2020,
and today is 2021, but that's going to be the 2021 fourth dandiya we're doing, and thank you for that particular family for being so dedicated. Udka bhi hota generally Gujarati mein na, Gujarati families mein it's a very big event, but they actually have a 10-day event of this dandiya, right? So we actually are blessed to have people who want to share that cultural nuance with us.
Right.
So thank you so much for that, Deepak ji, Falguni ji, and the entire family of Pandey actually.
Oh,
So
wow.
Falguni, आगे बढ़ते हैं. People are waiting. They want to know what's happening on the roads. What are you doing, Falguni?
You have to tell us, Alto Baba.
That's
रास्ते
right.
का हाल सस्ते में तू देता है.
It's time for the Bandu traffic update. Call us from wherever you are at 408-912-2479.
Azerbaijan, रास्ते का हाल देना पड़ेगा because a lot of incidents happening on the roads, Banjan. I'm not kidding. There actually are close to around 8 different incidents happening in different parts of the Bay Area, Banjan. Let's start all the way up north. There actually is a traffic hazard because of an accident on San Bruno Avenue in San Bruno. The left lane is affected there on 101 southbound. This is north of San Bruno, as I told you, Banjan. San Mateo coming down. A disabled vehicle on 92 is slowing traffic over there for some reason. This is actually in the exit part exactly, in the Hillsdale Boulevard exit pe hai, so obviously people are concerned about banging into it and everything, so watch out for the particular lane, Banjan. That's something you got to watch out for. Now coming down further, we actually will go towards the 280 Woodside area. There's some road work happening over there. The right lane, the shoulders closed because of this until 5 p.m. So bottleneck has been forming over there, so watch out for traffic over there. And speaking of bottlenecks, there's a huge backlog of traffic over there southbound on the Woodside Road in Redwood City because of an accident which actually has injuries also, unfortunately. This is on the 101 southbound area, so the exit part of it is totally blocked over there, so watch out, drive very carefully. And now let's go towards East Bay. East Bay may, and let me talk about what's happening, which is creating delays on 880 northbound near the Whipple Road. The right shoulder is affected over here because of delays. It's actually a huge, slow traffic area and coming down all the way into Fremont. In fact, until actually on Dumbarton Bridge, that's the 84 exit, there's a vehicle fire which actually is even more causing havoc over there because almost 3-4 exits are blocked all the way, Banjan. This vehicle fire is on the southbound of 84 actually. And people are trying to get onto the 84 but not able to do that. It's the northbound 880 is totally backed up over there, so watch out, drive very carefully. It's on the ramp over there, and it's still a dry spell. We don't have rains. We had rains yesterday though, but it's going to be a dry weather all week actually, Banujan. So whenever it's dry weather, I'm only concerned because it's going to be hot also. Oh yeah, last week was cool. This time it's going to be like somewhere in the mid 80s, I suppose, 85, 86 in that weather range. So watch out and drive very, very carefully, Banujan. And that's all we have for your traffic update, Banujan. But right now it's time for us to go and take a look at what's happening with the news. Faltwani, can you take it away with the news for our bandus?
Yes, Alto Baba, I most definitely can. लेकिन उससे पहले मैं सभी को बताना चाहती हूँ how you can get your tickets for the Ding Chak Dandiya Banujan. If you haven't gone ahead and booked yet, please go ahead and book at Media Mahim. No. At pragnya.org/DDD. I'm so used to saying Media Mahima.
Wow, Faltwani, what happened to you?
Yes, Alto Baba, what happened to me?
Yeah, wake up. You know, first thing, Faltwani never asked me coffee. She come there, oh, you have coffee for me? I was like, what? When did you hire me for coffee?
Exactly.
Or for cleaning the place and everything, right? For coffee you don't drink in the mornings anyways, right?
Yes.
Right now, Faltwani, take it away. What's news for us today?
Well, Alto Baba, the United States is opening its international borders to many more international countries to be coming in.
What's the point? They actually are throwing all the Haiti people back to Haiti right now.
Well, let's talk a little bit more about that.
It's like a mass expulsion of people.
Well, yes, but at the same time, they are, I don't know, actually there's going to be a separate a group that's going to be going there to investigate what exactly is going on and why this particular camp is being cracked down on. But the United States will reopen to air passengers from China, India, Britain and many other European countries who have received COVID-19 vaccines in early November, the White House said Monday, rolling back tough pandemic-related travel restrictions that has started early last year. The White House plans to allow non-US citizen travelers from countries who have been barred from the United States since early 2020 as it moves to the new requirements. The White House Coronavirus Response Coordinator Jeff Zients said on Monday. The Pfizer-BioNTech vaccine, Pfizer-BioNTech have said that data shows that the COVID-19 vaccine is now safe and protective in kids. They induced supposedly a robust immune response in 5 to 11 years olds, and they plan to ask for regulatory authorization as soon as possible to use the shot in children in that age range in the United States, Europe, and elsewhere. Regulators could also be okaying Pfizer boosters for older Americans this week. US regulators could authorize a booster shot of the Pfizer BioNTech COVID-19 vaccine for older and some high-risk Americans early this week, in time for the government to roll them out by Friday. The FDA is expected to give the nod to the third shot for at least this group before advisors to US CDC are due to meet on Wednesday. The CDC panel will discuss more precise recommendations on how to administer those shots. But there's something else happening. The COVID has actually created shortages in an array of other US medical supplies. Shortages of masks and gloves that marked the early days of the COVID-19 pandemic have spread to a host of other items needed at medical facilities in the United States. From exam tables and heart defibrillators to crutches and IV poles. It can now take up to 5 months to get some types of exam tables, apparently. For instance, compared to 3 to 6 weeks before the pandemic. According to CME Corp, the distributor of medical equipment that handles over 2 million products. Right now, because of the supply chain stress that's being caused by COVID, almost everything is delayed, said Cindy Huhas, CME's chief strategy officer. A lot of the stuff we sell.
You didn't complete your sentence.
What?
Cindy, who has what?
Hey, her name is Huhas.
Oh.
A lot of the stuff we sell is not sitting in a warehouse where you can just call and say, oh, send this over. It typically needs to be built, and that's where COVID has impacted manufacturing of these items. It's crunch time for Congress with Biden's agenda and the debt limit on the line. The U.S. Congress returns to session on Monday facing a massive agenda and a tight time crunch, with President Joe Biden's Democrats hoping to pass sweeping domestic programs, fund the government, approve an infrastructure bill, and raise the debt ceiling in a matter of weeks. They face several deadlines, including a scheduled September 27th vote on a $1 trillion Senate-approved infrastructure bill and October 1 date when the federal government will run out of money to fund many of its operations if Congress doesn't act. Later in October, the country could breach its borrowing cap, risking default on U.S. payment obligations. And remember the FBI search that was happening for the missing woman? Mm-hmm. Well, the FBI on Monday searched the Florida home of Brian Laundrie's parents after finding a body in Wyoming over the weekend that was consistent with that of his missing fiancée, Gabby Petito. As agents swarmed the home in Northport, Florida, FBI's Tampa office said in a Twitter post that it was executing a court-authorized search warrant at Laundrie's residence. Earlier, police said that Laundrie had shifted away from the Carlton Reserve, a vast natural area near Northport on Florida's Gulf Coast that law enforcement had been combing, and Laundrie's family said they believed he entered the area last week, according to police. So if you want to catch up on that story, Banjan, you can go to mediamahima.com. In the Bay Area, nearly 8,000 PG&E customers still remain without power. Yes, and the number of PG&E customers still affected by the weather-related power outages in the Bay Area has dropped to under 8,000 by Sunday night. The outages began late Saturday as a light rain and heavy fog settled on power lines and equipment that had accumulated dust and debris during a long dry spell. The mixture sparked flashovers that caused outages, according to PG&E. Nearly 29,000 customers were affected at one point, and the number has steadily dropped as PG&E crews work to restore power. 7,862 people as of 4 p.m. were mostly impacted in the East Bay, and 6,900 were without power, PG&E said. In other weather-related warnings, Panajan, the danger for fire will increase beginning today in the East Bay Hills and north into Solano County, according to the National Weather Service. For several Northern California counties, forecasters have declared a red flag warning and fire weather watch, which is used when the risk of a fire is raised, but its occurrence, location, and or timing is still uncertain. This watch alert was prompted by a forecast gusty offshore winds that will create drying conditions Sunday night through Tuesday morning in the East Bay Hills, the Diablo Range, and the mountains of the North Bay. Police have arrested a man who claimed to have swallowed an explosive device and driven on to Mineta San Jose International Airport. A despondent man claiming to have swallowed an explosive device drove a car onto the south side of the San Jose International Airport on Sunday morning, police said. Police said they responded at 7:25 a.m. to the security breach, took the suspect into custody, and determined that his claim about an explosive was actually unfounded. He appeared to be having a mental health crisis and would receive services, police said on social media. He was booked into jail on a suspicion of several different charges. That was the news from across the United States and locally here in the Bay Area. Alto Baba, do you want to give us a Gani Kakira before we go into the international news?
I could actually, but let's jump into international news because Faltani, people are wondering, waiting to know what's news actually over there. You gonna go international news, Anna Faltani? World news?
I could do that, Alto
There
Baba.
you go, Baljan.
What is the Gani Kakira? You don't have a Gani Kakira for us?
Yes, we do, but we better to go with the news all the way, right, Faltani? Because we're running out of time already.
Alright, Banjan, there is a news that's coming out about the Canary Islands volcanic eruption, the first in 50 years, that has forced the evacuation of about 5,500 people and destroyed at least 100 houses, authorities have said. The flow of molten rock was expected to reach the coast later on Monday, potentially triggering more explosions, and the volcano itself would remain active for days. The volcano erupted on Sunday, shooting lava hundreds of meters into the air, engulfing forests and sending molten rock towards the Atlantic Ocean over a sparsely populated area of La Palma, the northwesternmost island of the Canaries archipelago. In other news, 6 people have been killed in a Russian university shooting and a gunman is in the hospital. A student armed with a hunting rifle opened fire at a university in the Russian city of Palma on Monday, killing at least 6 people and wounding many others, investigators said. Video shown on news websites panicked students leaping from first-floor windows to escape the Perm State University around 1,300 kilometers east of Moscow, landing heavily on the ground before running to safety. There were about 60 people in our classroom. We closed the door and barricaded it with chairs, student Semyon Karyakin told Reuters. The gunman was wounded after resisting arrest and was being treated at a hospital, the investigative committee law enforcement agency said in a statement. And speaking of Russia, Panajan, rivals are alleging massive fraud as Russian pro-Putin party wins a big majority. Opponents accused Russian authorities of massive fraud on Monday after the ruling United Russia Party, which supports President Vladimir Putin, won a bigger than expected parliamentary majority despite unease over living standards.
See, that's exactly what happened. I'm telling you the same thing, Baljan. Yeah, anyway, okay, fine.
What happened?
See, that's the reason he actually put them behind bars, right?
Who put who
Putin.
behind? What?
He knew this is kind of unrest is going to happen, all these things. Who wants all the unrest?
What?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, the opposition party, the people creating the havoc, right?
Oh my God, Alto Baba, seriously? The opposition party is the party
Grapes are
that
sour.
is... No, it is not grapes are sour, whatever. And it's the opposition party was the issue has been that this election was rigged from the beginning. They were not allowing them. Why do they do the sham election anyway? I don't
Why
get
do
it.
the election anyway? Just have him as supreme leader, right? So what?
What? Have whom as a supreme leader?
Putin.
Aren't they already doing that?
He is put in all the work, by the way.
Oh, really? Put in all the work. Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's also tell you, Banjan, after that particular massive election fraud that is being reported in Russia, they're saying that with over 99% of the ballots counted, the Central Election Commission said that United Russia had won nearly 50% of the vote, with its nearest rival, the Communist Party, taking just under 19%. The scale of victory means United Russia will now have more than 2/3 of deputies in the 450 seat state Duma, lower house of parliament. This will enable it to continue to push through laws without having to rely on other parties. This United Russia is a party that Putin helped found.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And he had always been expected to get them to win. Its most vociferous critics, allies of the jailed Kremlin critic Alexei Navalny, were prevented from taking part after a court branded them as extremists in June. So they can't actually even participate in the election. So,
See?
Yeah.
Isn't that bad?
It's kind of scary, isn't it?
I
if you
agree
think
with
about
you.
it.
I totally, Fadwani, I am with you on this.
Well, in the meanwhile, Banajan, let's tell you, in a neighboring country, in Canada, their ruling Liberals and the main opposition Conservatives were locked in a tight race, according to the final polls, as Canadians voted in Monday's election, which will determine who forms the government to guide the country out of the COVID-19 pandemic. Surveys of public opinion show Prime Minister Justin Trudeau's centre-left Liberals could eke out another minority government with Erin O'Toole's Conservatives close on their heels. The left-leaning New Democrats remain in third place. In news from India, Bandajan, let us tell you that England is calling off the Pakistan tour after New Zealand's security scare. And what am I talking about? Why is this related to India? Well, it's because we're all cricket lovers. The England cricket team have withdrawn their men's and women's team from next month's tour of Pakistan. The country's cricket board, ECB, said on Monday, 3 days after New Zealand abandoned their tour of the country amid security concerns. The England teams were each scheduled to play T20 tournaments matches on October 13th and 14th in Rawalpindi, with the women's side due to stay on for a 3-match one-day international series from October 17th to the 21st. The ECB board convened this weekend to discuss these extra England women's and men's games in Pakistan, and we can confirm that the board has reluctantly decided to withdraw both teams from the October trip, the ECB said in a statement. In other news, the United States will be reopening to travelers from India, as I mentioned before, Banajan, and they're rolling back tough pandemic-related travel restrictions that started early last year. So if you have family in India, this is a good time for you to be looking at bringing them over if they are completely vaccinated. That is mandatory for people to travel.
Yeah.
Afghan crisis live updates. Well, let's tell you that Pakistan has no right to tell Afghanistan to form an inclusive government, says Taliban. The ground situation in Afghanistan.
Wow, they're actually double-crossing Pakistan again?
Yeah.
Oh, no, it's just a game. You know what they're doing?
Yeah.
They're trying to make it seem like as though
Pakistan
they have
is not.
So Pakistan keeps getting the money from US.
Yeah, there have been a lot of incidents of the Taliban coming under attack, purportedly from the ISIS factions. The ground situation in Afghanistan under the Taliban seems to be stabilizing. And as I had mentioned, we had reported on this previously, China is going to provide unconditional aid to Afghanistan, according to the IANS report.
Did I hear unconditional aid?
Yeah,
You know what?
unconditional aid.
Know what's going to happen right now?
Huh.
If I were to be America or the other UN nations,
What?
I will remind China saying that they already are oppressing Muslims on one side of the country.
Okay.
They can't support the Muslims on the side of the country. Oh my God. Unconditional aid.
Yeah. Well, I'm just going to say that the reason that there's nothing called unconditional aid,
I know.
especially from China. Look at what they're doing in Africa. So learn from that.
What are they doing in Africa?
Well, if you don't know, I don't have time for it right now, but Altubaba, because we need to get into our Ganika Kita as well. But I want to also share that India has got its first set of J&J Johnson & Johnson vaccine doses, and it will start administering that in October. And President Joe Biden is going to be hosting Prime Minister Narendra Modi for a bilateral meeting at the White House on September 24th.
All right.
According to the president's weekly schedule that was released on Monday.
So you'll definitely have one more meet Namo again. Here, Badajan.
Oh yeah, that'll be awesome.
SAP will be open, will be packed again.
Yeah.
Google will get a visit from him. Or Facebook.
Well, let's tell you that President Joe Biden will also be meeting Japanese Prime Minister Suga Yoshihide as it released it's as part of his schedule. So we wonder what exactly this is going to be, where President Joe Biden is actually going to be hosting the first ever in-person Quad Leaders Summit at the White House. Suga and Australian Prime Minister Scott Morrison and Prime Minister Narendra Modi, they're all going to be there.
Nice.
Yes.
The powerful four.
Yeah.
Hey, China's not invited?
I don't think so.
Not fair at all. Just because, Anyways, fine. Yeah.
All right, and for those of you who are familiar with the Uri situation, Bandhujan, mobile internet and phone services have been suspended there on Monday in the border town of Uri in Jammu and Kashmir's Baramulla district following a counter-infiltration operation going on there for the last 24 hours. Defense sources have said reinforcements have been called in and a large area has been brought under the operation currently. And finally, in West Bengal, the government is telling the Supreme Court that shocking things have been happening in the state and cases are now being en masse transferred to the CBI instead of local police. That's pretty much what we have for as news on Good Morning Babe and Jan. We will be back tonight live at 5 on the Pam Pam Show. Don't forget to tune in. Download the Radio D Hotties app for super duper music all day long.
Yes. And इसी के साथ बंजन we're going to go to the गाने खड़े with talking about इस दुनिया में तो काम करो प्यारे
हाथ जोड़ सबको सलाम कर प्यारे ये दुनिया में रहना है तो काम कर प्यारे
Bandhujan, this is your darling Faltu Rani, and let me tell you, Bandhujani, that all these beautiful tracks that you're listening to right now are special Dihari picks that we've hand-picked just for you. We'll see you in just a few. Keep listening.
Hi, this is Jammy Lever, and you're listening to Radio D Hottie, where entertainment just keeps getting hotter.